Hello again. This is the second video that I am to introduce you the presentation I've generated about data analytics and big data, a deep enough explanation for non-technical roles. If you haven't seen yet the first video or download the first presentation, I recommend you to do it before continuing. In this second delivery, I want to dwell on an issue I consider critical in today's society. I would like in this presentation to condense all the necessary aspects so that organizations understand how to make the most of these technologies so necessary for their existence. For this reason, I've titled it Inside the Organization, or How to Lead a Data-Driven Revolution in Your Company. Balancing technology, design and business, I think they can achieve this goal. In this valuable resource, you will find things about the data-driven concept, very important to understand the path of our maturity levels must be achieved progressively. Another important issue is knowing how much data and emotions are related to decisions. Here you'll find details to understand how much. I also talk about the analytical principles that organizations must follow and the easiest way to obtain analytical value through a simple and straightforward process. And finally, I refer to a good data governance, so important to cement all of the above things that I've mentioned. Without a good data governance policy or a good CDO, things get very complicated. The first part of this presentation is an intense dive into the idea of data-driven organizations. The first slides scrutinize company maturity levels one by one until reaching the culmination in which the data science is at the center of its strategy. To do this, I've allowed myself the license to use comic strips. I've modified myself to reinforce the message at each level based on the explanation of its vision and organizational model, the culture and talent, the investment and value generation, and the infrastructure. It starts with the first, the resistant company. It goes through the data war that begins to think about the data and the data savvy company that already desperately search for insights. Until you reach Karma, the company that allows its decisions and strategy to turn around data, the data-driven company. I provide you with a table to understand what level you are. In addition, I try to give a little context to the subject, including some slides that show the Spanish case in terms of data-driven excellence. The data collected by a highly renowned Barcelona business school is very revealing and interesting. Their special interest in the main motivations and business units that pull the car in terms of being a data-driven company. Interesting. I think it's quite interesting. In the middle part, I spent a good time to highlight the close relationship between data, emotions and decisions. To see it with more perspective, I provide with different situations organization deals with every day, whether are simple, are complicated, complex or simply chaotic. Although I also provide the recipe recommended by a renowned technological consultant, I warn you about the need to also deal with fear and anger and so on. These emotions can make the decisions made daily in the organization not fair or equitable. That's why I show different cognitive biases, some of them so famous, and logical fallacies you will surely recognize in your day-to-day. To partially reduce this important risk, I focus some slides on analytical principles and mantras. Mantras should guide your data-driven strategy. In the same way, I stop in explaining how to connect data and analytics with business value. Using the value pyramid, I explain the different steps an organization must carry out with an initial top-down approach to finally get feedback bottom-up. Value generation from data evidence, that's the real intention of these slides. Upon reaching this point in the presentation, I ask you if it's difficult to control and pilot these concepts that may seem complex. The answer is the data governance. After briefly showing risks and consequences of bad data governance, I explain the term in relation to data modeling and data quality. And similar to data-driven maturity levels in companies, I explain for a few slides the path those companies need to follow to achieve good data governance also. Same type of jokes, but different regarding maturity levels. And this is because different authors propose different models. But never mind, we're using one of the most widespread models, one that can reveal the differences regarding responsibility, metadata, quality, and provisioning. Finally, I echo a current shift in the way in which data governance is carried out. The hierarchical data governance supported by systems of record is evolving towards the network data governance supported by systems of engagement. And that's why the CDO role becomes so important. It's something I explained in the last slide. Done. This is all what I would like to talk in the presentation. I think a good resource that you may need if you want to understand the implications of starting a decided path towards corporate excellence in data analytics and big data. The next is a monograph I'm building on big data. I think you cannot miss it. See you.